So in an interview, Tuface was asked, who is his most preferred artist, and you need to check out the video and see. But I like the fact that he was straight, he was honest.
He has really moved fast. We celebrate Tuface globally as a legend. Now let's have you talk about the now generation of artists.
Yep.
Would you mention a few that you would say are the next generation of legends?
Wow.
Why are you laughing?
Man, I'm going to avoid that question.
Okay, let me see you last.
I'll tell you why.
The thing is, let's give you some pointers, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that will help.
Maybe there are like criteria that you will take into consideration.
Okay.
Right? For instance, their lyrical prowess,
Okay.
their vocal prowess,
Okay.
how far their reach, right?
Okay.
Their fan base, and how evergreen their
Yeah.
songs might most likely be in years to come. So these are
Okay.
some of the things that you might take into consideration and say that, okay, if you these are these are
You're gonna have to.
maybe in
Okay, okay. You see, there's some people that are already up there. Some people that are already up there. Among them, we have the ones that are just plain hardworking.
Okay.
We have the ones that
When
have.
you say playing hard working, tell us about that.
No, I'm talking to you. I'm going to show you that place. We have the ones that are, they have the talent, but they decided to just do a commercial thing. And we have the ones that have the raw talent and they're doing it like that. And all of these people are at the top. You understand what I'm saying? So, for instance, we have the Burna Boy, we have Whiskey, we have Davido, we have Tiwa Savage, we have Ashake, we have Omale, we have Rema, we have Adekunle Gold, we have Olamide, we have. You see my problem, right? The list keeps going on and on and on. It's a long list. We have so many superstars
Well, personally,
out of
you can
one country.
categorize them. You can categorize them.
So that's my dilemma right now. You understand where I
Well, I
come?
think 2008.
So for people saying we have done a law association history. That means I'm coming from that
Oh my. Okay.
I am going to tell you that.
Yeah.
For me, on a personal level, Burna Boy is my number one.
Burna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on a personal level, Burna Boy is my number one. Although I still have the other ones that I really like their style and I like how they carry themselves. But in terms of this question you're asking, in terms of me, personally as an artist, Burna Boy is my number one.
I must say, I appreciate that response.
Right now.
Absolutely.
And I say that because among all the others, he's the senior among the people that I'm referring to.
Okay.
There's still other ones that are coming up behind me, but I see them going to the same level. So I'll just leave it like that. Let me just get that in now.
Okay. All right.
But I respect the hustle. I respect the way some artists have
You've been
been.
grinding.
Yes.
At first, he kind of said, nah, I don't want to be dragged into this whole conversation because there's a lot of wonderful artists in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole. But then, when asked who he would pick, based on criterions like lyricism, evergreen music, sound, rhythm, all of that, Tuface, came out and he said, yeah, his pick is Burna Boy of all time, yes. And yes, I myself right here, I'm a fan of Burna Boy, of Davido, and of Whiskey, and of Rema, and of Omale, and of Buju Benson. I love all these artists, of course I do. But if I have to pick, when it comes to who makes good music among the new generation of artists, I definitely will go with Burna Boy. I think Burna Boy sings more sensible music than Davido and Whiskey. Yes, in terms of lyrics, his lyrics are more sensible. Yes. The only thing is that when it comes to Davido, I would say that Davido can make up a very good music with any kind of lyrics. The lyrics may not really, be top notch, but Davido will just find a way to just put the whole thing in there and make it sound good. Whiskey, on the other hand, I would say the old Whiskey, the former Whiskey, used to give us dope lyrics, well-written songs, good songs. But the new Whiskey, or the recent Whiskey, has been giving us songs that are not really impressive at all in any regard. And to be honest, I think that the so-called Whiskey FC are not really honest in that regard enough to critic, their champion and say, the lyrics that you give to us are not, in-depth lyrics, are not the kind of lyrics that you can tell were born from, deep insight. Unlike the likes of Omale gives us dope music, with the lyrics. Yes, it may not really carry enough substance, but you can still tell that yes, at least it was cleverly written. Same as Buju Benson, same as Ashake himself. Ashake is another dope artist that I think maybe if Tuface was to pick among the new generation of artists, perhaps you could pick Ashake, even though Ashake is known for this ceaseless rhyming. Sometimes he may not really be talking about something, but yes, it rhymes well. And I think that's where Ashake has his own strength. He doesn't give break to the music. He's always finding a word that rhymes with another word in between every space that the beat affords him. But the likes of Burna Boy is not really about filling in this beat for the sake of filling up. Burna Boy takes his time and write music. Another reason why I think Burna Boy stands out for me is that I try to look at Davido's catalog, his discography, and as well as Wizkid's discography, and I'll tell you for real that I am yet to find a single song where Wizkid or Davido sang, in champion of activism, where they sang, to champion the cause of activism in Nigeria, to say, all right, they're condemning this particular situation or that particular situation. But Burna Boy has been vocal about it. He has condemned the political class for their complete nepotism, for their complete corruption. All of these things, he has tackled it in his songs. In fact, if you look at African Giant, one of the finest albums of all time that Burna Boy has made that didn't win the Grammy, still you'll find that in that particular album, Burna Boy did a lot. That album carried message. That album was dope. And still, though he didn't win the Grammy Awards, but yeah, it is still known as one of the finest albums to come out of Africa when you're talking about Afrobeats. But then Wizkid and Davido, even when it comes to political issues, they barely interfere, they barely come in, they just go silent, and then when the whole drama is off, they come back again and act like, yeah, the Afrobeats giants of Africa. And so in that regard, I still pick Burna Boy in that. And so I'm really proud of Burna Boy. And then when you consider the Grammy Awards, when you look at how Burna Boy won the Grammy Awards and Wizkid. Wizkid just won the Grammy Awards through a verse from the Lion King album by Beyonce. But Burna Boy, you could tell that project Twice as Tall album, it was a classic, wonderful album, and it made it for him. And it's, we can go on and on and on and on to debate why that Tuface's pick was a dope pick. But then I just have to stop here and tell you that yes, just like Tuface, I concur. And yes, Burna Boy is my take. And for life, man, I think it's the number one. It's a giant. But then I wonder why he struggles, Although we can tell that the Wizkid fan base is so threatening that they could even undermine even the finest individual and make you think less of yourself, because these people are vocal, these people have wit, these people will tell you things that definitely pinch you. And so I think sometimes it discomforts or makes him uncomfortable. But it's here right here, I'm saying big shout out to these wonderful artists. But yes, of them all, Burna Boy is it for me. He's the dopest of them among the new generation of artists. I like Omale very much, but I think when it comes to substance, music with substance, Burna Boy still takes it up. And when you look at the music space, you tell that most of the songs is the same thing. They've been recycling, the lyrics has been recycled for a long time. What have they been singing about? Money and women, money and women, money and women, money and women, money and women. It's tiring for me, but it's just that they have always found a new way to sing it on new beats, on different kinds of beats, on remake kind of beats, and then find tunes that they know how to put. And then also, they know how to promote and market it such that they continue to sing these songs and repeat it in our ears. And then when they force feed you this music, repetition, of course, repetition, just like religion. You go to church, you keep hearing the same thing. You go to a mosque, you keep hearing the same thing over and over till it sinks right down in there. I think it's the same method that they employ, and so they are constantly drumming the same music. So you see, they play the same music every day, such that before you find yourself singing this music and you get surprised. So it's just how it is. It's the marketing strategy, and it's been working for them. And see, we may complain, but we still find ourselves dancing to these musics and enjoying this music, although the music here are danceable. So regardless of the substance or not, they're still worth dancing to. A big shout out to everybody who's put in the hard work. Like Tuface said, there are those who you can tell their work ethic has done it for them, and I think Davido is who he's referring to, because Davido's work ethic is admirable. Very hardworking artist that works all around, and so it's a big shout out to Davido too, because for putting in the effort and trying to see how he could put in, and even making use of songwriters regardless. He's not saying, well, I'm gonna do it all by myself, but he's making use of the finest individuals in every field and then bringing them together and then using them to achieve his great success. It's also commendable. So that's it from me to you today. Do me a favor, hit the like button, and also subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that when I drop you get alerted. And share my work, tell a friend about Great Dave. And yeah, I am your finest entertainment and music commentator, the finest of all time. And yeah, catch you again very soon. In a mouth.